Welcome to Sylvan Lake, the Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Without further delay, Gulls baseball fan, let's welcome the first ever coach in our history, Jason Chatwood.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Well, that's the site of a cool, wet, rainy, and cool day, but that's not going to get in the way of two teams that are battling it out right now for the second place spot in the Western Division. Two hot teams going head-to-head tonight, and we are in for a treat. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome in to the Gulls broadcast booth as you are watching Gulls baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by visitsylvanlake.ca. Jim Claggett, I'm K.O. Clark. Very excited to get this one underway for you. Gulls so far 2-3 against Lethbridge this season, looking to tie that series up here tonight. Big game at stake right now.
You know what? It seems like as we get into that late July, every game's a big game.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody has a chance to move up in the standings or move down in the standings. And you said the Gulls and Bulls are fighting for second, but they both have a shot at first place as well. We can't forget that because. Yeah. Three good teams right there battling out right at the top of the standings.
Yeah, as we know, the Okotoks Dogs defending champs 3 years in a row. But as we take a look at our pitcher of the evening, that is Leroy Tavares getting his start tonight. As we've seen Leroy a few times on the mound, maybe not necessarily starting a whole bunch this season, but good to see him on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls in the nice blue pinstripe jerseys. As we take a look at who he's going to face, well, it's not going to start easy. Bernie Sakaris, the guy that leads the league in batting average, will start things off with Lee Matsuzaki and Carter Clairhout, who we know is a familiar face here in Central Alberta, playing first tonight and always a threat against this Gulls team. Luke Wheatley rounds out the batting order at the number 9 spot, as he is a familiar face as well to Sylvan Lake, as his brother Chance Wheatley had a chance to play here one time back in the very first year in Sylvan Lake's franchise history.
Good memory. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me.
Of course.
You remind me where I parked my car?
Yeah, if I can remember where I parked my car, I'll tell you.
Thank you. Thank you very little.
Thank you very little. Well, we know Leroy Tavares. He's one of those emotional guys. He's always an amped up kind of player. I mean, he said we won't really see it from him if he comes into a game, but when he's starting and he gets to start off on a good note, we might see a little bit more of that.
Yep.
Drama.
He's got some personality. Between him and Cameron Diaz, they're chock full of personality, these two guys. Well, starting things off, as you mentioned, Bernie Sakaris, the center fielder, and Tavares starts him off with a fastball, 92 on the outside. And there you go. We are underway here at Gulls Field at Pagato Park after about an hour delay here. We were supposed to start at 6, and here we are starting at the regular time. So. Yep. What's one more hour, right?
It's not something we're not used to, that's for sure. Leroy Tavares, though, what he's not used to in a Sylvan Lake Gulls uniform is starting a game. This is his first start as a Gull.
He has come in relief, middle in relief, and then near the end of a game as well. But that's what Matt Hape told me about his pitching staff. He said they can start, they can close, and they can play everything in between, and he likes that. So good chance here for Leroy to get some innings under his belt. And he gets the first batter, the leading hitter in the WCBL, to strike out swinging to start this game off.
Yeah, a guy that can hit .414 on the summer, and he's got 100 at-bats now, strikes out. That's only his 18th strikeout of the season on Sakaras. But for Leroy Tavares, perfect start for him. What he would like to see is that gets number 21 strikeout on the year.
Well, that'll bring up the right fielder, Lee Matsuzaki. And he fouls the first pitch off.
And the guy that had 12 Ks on the fence last game coming out to field that ball in foul territory.
Yeah, I talked to Josh Tucker before the game today, and actually after the game the other night, and he said, "Yep, just like the old Josh Tucker." I said, "You are correct, sir."
Yep.
And that's rounded right back up the middle, and Tai Yukamoto played it just perfectly. Leroy Tavares made a grab at it with his bare hand, and I think maybe he was lucky he didn't get it because that had some pretty good speed on it.
Well, especially right on the throwing arm hand, too. I mean, that would really sting and maybe even affect your throwing from here on out. So good thing that missed him.
Yeah.
Allowing his infield behind him to do the work.
Probably just a reaction, you know, a natural reaction. So this will bring up the Red Deer product, the first baseman, familiar sight here at Gulls Field. And that's Carter Clairhout, and he grounds that right down to Bryce Turner, who steps on the bag. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Leroy Tavares and the Sylvan Lake Gulls as nobody crosses the plate, nobody got a base hit, and we are going to the bottom of the first, scoreless.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
There's your starter from Panama City, Samuel Herrera. Wonder if he knows our two buddies from Panama.
Yeah, there might be a
Never
good
up
chance.
here last year.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, sorry, I hate to sound like that. Hey, I got a friend in Toronto. Oh, maybe you know him. Yeah, there's only several million people there. So, anyway, that's Samuel Herrera. He'll face a pretty good lineup here. Doesn't change too much. The newcomer Anthony Gilbert was DH last time, and tonight he's playing over at third base, and he's in the number 3 spot. Then you've got Tiarena, Turner, Garcia, O'Connor, Hampton, and Kyle Lewis rounding out the lineup that Samuel Herrera will have to keep in check. And I got a feeling it's either indigestion or just a really good feeling.
Oh boy!
But I think the Gulls are going to break out with their hitting tonight. They've been hitting the ball hard.
Yeah.
But it's been right at somebody. And Junior Garcia is probably the prime example. He has hit some solid shots as the first pitch to Tai Yukamoto is in for a strike. I mean, last game, though, Trip Ray hit one that I thought for sure was way out of here. And the wind held it up, and the left fielder, Camden Sanders, made the catch up against the wall, and it was like an outstanding catch, but he hit that hard. And it's like, okay, it's just not falling in for the guys right now. So,
well, and that's the thing with the weather and the wind here in Sylvan Lake. You know, it's an open area, so you know you get any breeze through here that can really affect the ball in the flight of travel, and you just don't know what it's going to do. And we've seen time and time again, the wind has changed as well as the game has gone on. So it could just depend. Your at-bat could be different from the next at-bat. You could have the wind with you. You could have the wind against you. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, the wind is going the opposite direction from last game, and it looks like it's going from the east or west to the east rather than the east to the west like it was last game. So this will favor the right-handed batters tonight. Maybe not necessarily this guy and Yukamoto being a lefty.
A full count on the Gulls shortstop, leading things off here against Herrera. Jaden Flores and then Anthony Gilbert. And I think I passed Anthony Gilbert's parents or relatives or somebody, because it was a car that had a Quebec license plate, and there's not a whole lot of those traveling around Alberta. And Tai Yukamoto works Herrera for a walk to lead things off for the Gulls. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Jaden Flores.
Don't think it's a coincidence somebody from Quebec could be just traveling through to BC.
Maybe. It may be, but I'm going with the,
fair.
I'm sure that was some relative.
Yep.
Okay. Parents probably.
Well, that'd be cool. I mean, this is, opening weekend for him to get his debut as a Sylvan Lake Gull, and so far cashed in an RBI the other night against Fort McMurray. The first and only.
Yep.
Well, first before the extra,
Yeah.
the extra innings.
That's right. 1-0 the count on Jaden Flores, one of the All-Stars that were participating on Saturday's All-Star game in the WCBL, and Flores rips this one high but way left.
Yeah, he got a lot of that one. Wow.
He did.
Shot that to the moon.
Home plate umpire Brandon Strockley, or Strachey, sorry. First baseman over there is MJ Willis, and the third base umpire Marcel Rosetto.
Now, here's the thing with MJ Willis over at first base. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but this is the first time ever we have seen here at Gulls Field a female umpire.
I believe you're right. And that's grounded down to third base on a long throw made by Steven Andrechik, and he catches the speedy Jaden Flores. Flores does what he needs to do in one respect, and that's move Tai Yukamoto over to third base, or second base, into scoring position here in the first inning. Good play there by the third baseman, though, Steven Andrechik. This will bring up the aforementioned Anthony Gilbert, playing third base tonight. So we've seen him wield the bat. We haven't seen him with the glove or the ball yet. So, really interesting.
Yeah, and really excited to see, what Anthony Gilbert has in store for us, playing defensively for the first time. And we know he's got a bat on him, and I got to talk to him a little bit after that last game, and more of just me congratulating him on, welcoming him to Sylvan Lake and congratulating him on his first game, good at bat, and just, as always, polite and humble, and said his thank yous and got to meet him, and seems like a nice kid.
And Yukamoto he got a great jump there, and that goes into left field, and Yukamoto heads up as he looked to see where that ball went. He had a feeling that it was gone, and so the sacrifice there by Jaden Flores moves Yukamoto over there, and then the error on the catcher sends him home. But boy, did he get a jump on that stolen base.
Yeah, he had a great lead at second, and then too, that throw really caught off guard on Steven Andrechik as he was waiting for the throw to come down to it, but because Flores was sliding, the catcher in Ben Simons actually threw it in kind of where Flores was sliding, so it was lost in the slide, and it made its way out to the left field.
The count 2-2, and Gilbert sends this down to third base, and Andrechik once again with the play over to first, and Carter Clairhout makes the grab, and that's the second out of the game. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Brock Tiarina. Andrechik, he kind of double clutched that one and made that play a little closer than it had to be. But he got it out of his hands, he got it out of his glove, and he got it over to first base to make the out. So Brock Tiarina steps in with the bases empty, and two down. And he takes that first pitch outside or in for a strike. Bryce Turner is the batter on deck. Tiarina holds back on the swing on that one as that's down low inside. They check down over to third base, and Marcel Rosetto says, nope, he did not go. And that's ripped into the gap there by Tiarina. As a solid single to keep the inning going for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. He gets himself a base hit.
Yeah, finds the hole in the gap and does a good job to just, take a base and get on base, keep this two-out rally alive. That's why Tiarina's been the DH so many times this year. A .291 on the season. That is now his 31st hit of the year.
He's good with the bat. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Bryce Turner, with 2 down. And the Gulls already on the board. As Tai Yukamoto drew a walk, moved over to second on a sacrifice, stole third, and on the throw over to third, the ball went into left field, and Yukamoto stole or came home. So that's where we're at. 1-0 here. Gulls lead it in the bottom of the first inning. Two and one now on Turner. Well, I wonder if Mother Nature's done with teasing us here. We appreciate her taking some time off. Maybe she's just taking a little break here. Going for, going for lunch.
Going for lunch, yeah.
You know, make it a long lunch, like a 3-hour lunch.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah. Well, it's breaking up a bit. It's gotten a lot later than it did when we first arrived here at the Ball Diamond a couple hours ago.
There's a little floater into foul territory. And Carter Clairhout can't quite catch up to that one.
Well, Jim, the WCBL All-Star game last night went down in Okotoks, and Team East ended up defeating Team West, and it wasn't even close, 10-3.
Wow.
That East beat West, and the Saskatoon Berry slugger Ethan Menard, he was the big leader in the offensive onslaught with a solo home run, and that was in the top of the 6th, and it was the only long ball hit during the game. He was named the game's MVP after his 1-for-4 outing.
Okay.
And the Berries just, continue to look good this year as well, as you take a look at their standings, leading the Eastern Division. And it's not even close when you look at that Eastern Division. 34-7, the Saskatoon Berries, and then the next closest team is Medicine Hat at 26-16, which is still pretty good. Medicine Hat has kind of recently dropped a little bit. They're 5-5 in their last 10 right now. But, and we just, as you mentioned, we were talking about in the pregame show, you take a look at the standings right now, and it's just that point of the year where it's starting to kind of be more and more crucial. Every game's a big one. Every game matters. And the Lethbridge Bulls, 24-15 against the Sylvan Lake Gulls, 25-16. And that is hit pretty good to deep center field. Look at this.
That's going to over his head. A well-hit ball by, is that Junior Garcia?
Sure was.
That was Junior Garcia. Finally got into one, and finally he avoided somebody's glove. Well done for Junior Garcia as he knocks in 2 runs. Bryce Turner and Brock Tiarina score on that base hit. That stand-up double by Garcia.
This is what the Sylvan Lake Gulls needed. The Lethbridge Bulls have kind of given it to the Sylvan Lake Gulls this year as far as, striking first and striking early. As we've seen in the past games, the Lethbridge Bulls have got out to early leads against Sylvan Lake, and the Gulls finally, starting to kind of give them a little taste of their own medicine as they came ready to play after that 1-hour delay.
And that's well hit by Rowan O'Connor. And the center fielder misses it. That is Bernie Sakaris, who absolutely muffed that one. And I think out of the corner of his eye, he saw Lee Matsusaki closing in on him, and maybe they were both yelling, or neither was yelling. As you see, Matsusaki was all ready to settle underneath that, and the center fielder maybe called him off. Anyway, an error to the center fielder. And Rowan O'Connor gets on base. Over to second base. So the Gulls have something going here with 2 out in the bottom of the first inning. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Bryce Hampton. That is in for a strike to start his at bat.
Well, so far your gut feeling has been pretty accurate, Jim.
Yeah, and it wasn't heartburn.
Yeah.
And Hampton sends this down to third base, and it looks like hitting over to third base is the preferred mode of transportation for that ball to go to first base. That's Stephen Andrachik with 3 outs there. made all 3 of them with his play. So 3 runs on a couple of base hits. The Gulls leave 1 man on. They have a 3-0 lead after 1 going to the top of the 2nd.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus 2 weekly shows including the WCBL Report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday, and also the WCBL Game of the Week pregame show leading right up to game time every Thursday night. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Well, I stand corrected. There are 4 runs up on the board, and there are 4 runs that were scored. I just was not paying attention. Leroy Tavares has a 4-run lead to work with in his 2nd inning of work here against the Lethbridge Bulls. And they'll start things off with their designated hitter, Jack Kaliski, a familiar name for WCBL fans here in Sylvan Lake and around the league. He's a veteran of the wars.
Having a heck of a year, too. He's not far behind Sakaris with the batting average, .325 so far this summer, 32 RBIs. He leads the team in driving in runs. He's got 8 homers as well on there, which is among one of the top counts in the league for home run counts.
Well, I remember him hitting one not last year, but the year before, and it was an absolute bomb. That was so hard hit. As the old saying was, something that far and that long in the air should have a stewardess. 1-2 the count on the designated hitter.
Yeah, the league leading count right now is 9 home runs, and that's currently by Ethan Menard. But there he goes out swinging. Strikeout number 2 for Tavares.
Yeah, he crosses him up with a little 87-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch down and away. A little bit of movement on it. And Stephen Andrzejczyk, the third baseman, who was busy, he started all 3 outs there. And a called strike there by home plate umpire Brandon Strachey. One down here in the top of the 2nd. 4-0 Gulls lead it. And a one-hopper to second baseman Rowan O'Connor, and he just made that look so easy. And I know it wasn't, but he sure made it look easy.
Yeah, nice slide, getting his glove on it, and then just casually getting up and calmly throwing it over to Bryce Turner at first for the out. And yeah, he's feeling, this is something that the Gulls have done so well lately, is not only the pitching has started off hot, but the defense behind them has just been absolutely coming together and gelling perfectly. And it's a good time for it, because this is the time of season where you start needing to crack down on things like that. And we saw at the beginning of the year, it was a little shaky at times defensively. Those plays weren't being made. Now they are. So that's good news if you're the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Well, this is Brendan McTavish stepping in, and the count 1-1. I was a little concerned, O'Connor sliding on that turf after all that rain. I thought he might slide past the ball. This is grounded down to Yukamoto at short. Scoops it, throws it, and another 3-up, 3-down inning for Leroy Tavares and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. No runs, no hits. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Gulls coming to bat.
or the brewery, to the rodeo, the campground, to the sports field, the friend next door, with your family in the next town, the dealership, with the ice cream shop. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
Welcome back. Kyle Lewis leads things off here in the bottom of the second for the Gulls with a 4-0 lead over the visiting Lethbridge Bulls. It'll be Kyle Lewis and then the top of the order, Ty Yukamoto and Jaden Flores. So the 9-1-2 hitters in the Gulls lineup here to face Samuel Herrera, and this is a little floater out to the second baseman, Brennan McTavish, and that's 1 out.
So I got official word from our scorer next door. They did give the hit to number 16, Rowan O'Connor, on that play. So
really,
he would have been credited an RBI double.
Okay.
As he drove in Junior Garcia for that fourth run. So yeah, they're crediting him the hit.
Okay, now I know.
Just so you know, now we all know.
And that's ripped down the first baseline by Yukamoto, who seems to not favor any field for when he hits. We've seen him hit right back up the middle and little opposite field stuff, and then drive one deep down the right field line. So a little bit of everything from this leadoff hitter, and that's why he's in that spot. He scored the first run of the game in the top of the first. And a good pitch there by Herrera ties him up. 0-2 now. And then he moved over to second on a sacrifice by Jaden Flores. Stole a third, and on the throw came home as the throw went out to left field. And the sun's coming out.
Yeah, can you believe it?
And there's Yukamoto. Now he's going down the left field line and puts this into the Gulls bullpen.
If you would have told me that the sun was going to show up tonight on my way to the ball game, I would have said you're nuts, because it was absolutely downpouring on the way here.
I would have taken that bet, yeah. This is in foul territory down the third baseline, and just about caught by Steven Andrechik, as he had a beat on it, but just couldn't keep it in his glove. He actually does get a glove on it, doesn't he?
He does, right off the tip of the glove, and then takes a little bit of mud and dirt afterwards, and he's I think he's dirty.
He's going to be a Tide commercial there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a wet spot to be in that warning track.
He's going, oh, come on, anybody got to clean this off for me? He's looking over at the pitcher. Well, yeah, your uniform will stay clean. It's like the quarterback in football. But old linemen love, on a dirty day, they want to keep their quarterback clean in more of the ways than one, literally and figuratively. 1-2 the count now. And Yukamoto hits that right back to the box, and Herrera underhands it over to Carter Clairhout at first. And that's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, much better inning for the Bulls defensively here, after giving up 4 runs on 3 hits in the first. And that great play there by the pitcher and Samuel Herrera.
So Jaden Flores hit the ball hard, but right at somebody. The third baseman, Andrachik, takes that first pitch for a ball. Bottom of the second, Gulls leading the Lethbridge Bulls 4-0. And a good pitch there by Herrera has Flores off guard there and off balance. The count even at 1-1. He drops this foul down the third baseline. So both the Gulls and the Bulls are 4 games back of the Okotoks Dogs in the Western Division standings. So again, as we mentioned, important game between these two teams.
Yeah, the Bulls currently technically sitting in second right now with the winning percentage at .615. The Gulls are at .610. 24-15 are the Bulls' record. 25-16 is the Gulls' record.
And a one hopper down to short, and Luke Wheatley with the throw, and a good grab by Carter Clairhope, but first base umpire MJ Willis says nope. She's explaining to Clairhope what happened on that play, and maybe she could explain to us too. There's a one hopper, and
I think she's maybe arguing that he didn't have full control of that ball and it was bouncing around on him maybe a little bit, but tough to say from this angle up here on her reasoning for that call. But
yeah, she's sticking to her guns.
Let's take a look at it again. It's just slow motion here in Hearthstone Property Management
Can't see
replay.
the ball.
You can watch it bounce once up in the glove of Claro. It looks like he had pretty good control of it, and he seems to be pretty surprised. So maybe a little bit of a favorable call for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They get away with one there.
Well, they'll take it. I don't know if we call that an error on the.
I don't think you can. I think you call that a base hit.
Yeah, I guess it is a base hit. Anthony Gilbert steps in now. He grounded out to third, as did everybody in the first inning. This is out into left field, and Adonis Bernal is there. Makes the catch and brings the inning to a close. So no harm, no foul on that play over at first base. No runs, and as we see, one base hit. The Gulls strand a man, and we are through 2 complete. 4-0 Sylvan Lake.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field, the friend next door, with your family in the next town, the dealership with the ice cream shop. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
There we go, a good shot there of Gulls Field at Pagato Park here on a Sunday evening. Usually we play Sunday afternoons. This is a Sunday evening game, which was going to start at 6 but never started till 7 because Mother Nature had other ideas. She had to get something out of her system. And this is lifted out into shallow center or right field, and Rowan O'Connor is right there to put a glove on it and make the first out there. Adonis Bernal was the batter, the number 7 hitter.
complete opposite from what we saw last game, where the outs were coming from the pitcher on the mound, and now the outs are coming from all the guys on the infield, and even, well, so far no outfield catches yet, but all infield plays right now to start this one, and that's allowing Leroy Tavares' arm to stay less busy.
Yeah,
With
but
only
I mean,
18 pitches.
he would prefer to be busy, I'm sure. You know, you get into a rhythm, but
Yeah, for sure.
if his defense is doing what they're doing, he'll gladly accept it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he's firing on all cylinders right now. He's ahead 0-2 on the count against Ben Simmons, the catcher. And he comes at 92, missing just on the outside. 1-2 now. Luke Wheatley is the batter on deck, the shortstop tonight for the Bulls. That misses down low to even the count. And that's fouled back by Simmons. Count remains 2-2. One down here in the top half of the third inning. Sylvan Lake with a 4-0 lead over the visiting Lethbridge Bulls. Oh, Tavares 93 on the gun. Just missing on the outside. The count now full. I think he wanted that one.
Yeah, I think he's shaking his head right now in disbelief. Thought he had him on that corner.
And he comes back inside and has Simmons swinging, but he gets enough of that to stay alive in the at-bat. And he works from an 0-2 count to a walk against Leroy Tavares. And that'll bring up Luke Wheatley. Tavares trying to get that outside corner and just wasn't getting the call.
And on the other hand, big kudos to Ben Simmons to, outweight Tavares. Had a little bit more patience and waited for the right pitch and got the call to walk.
And Tavares shakes it off and comes back with a strike to Luke Wheatley to start this at bat. And same pitch, same spot, same result. So he's ahead 0-2 on this batter as well. And that's a good sign, getting ahead of the batters. That's what, our pitching analysts, Kai Rempel, Mickey McClaskey, and the rest of the guys. They say it's good to get ahead of the batters. And that's ripped right back out the middle by Luke Wheatley. So a walk and a hit has runners on first and second. And that brings up the top of the order, the leadoff man, Bernie Sakaris, who struck out to start the game.
Well, in past games, this is where the Bulls did some damage. It was the third inning, second inning. They usually can get things going early on in these ball games. So if you're Sylvan Lake Gulls, just try to stop the damage while you can. 2 base runners on now. 1 away, maybe double play comes in handy here at the right time. And
yeah, pitcher's best friend.
Yeah.
And we've seen these guys turn double plays. They make it look easy. 1-1 on Sakaris. Lee Matsusaki is on deck. And that's sent into the opposite field, down into left field, and Jaden Flores is up with it quickly and gets it in. So back-to-back hits for the Lethbridge Bulls have now got the bases loaded with 1 down. And no appearance from the dugout by pitching coach Matt Haight yet. Just a conference there with Junior Garcia and Leroy Tavares.
Yeah, I like that. He's just letting his players figure it out between the two of them and get on the same page, see what they need to work on here, what pitches need to be thrown with bases loaded situation.
So the right fielder, Lee Matsusaki, who grounded out to short. And Tavares starts him off with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. And follows that up with a 90-mile-an-hour version, which had a little more movement on it. And once again, he's ahead 0-2. Now he's just got to close the deal.
Yeah.
Bases loaded, one down. And there's the pitch that he was looking for earlier. 93 right on the corner. And he gets Lee Matsusuki looking on that one.
Yeah, that's a good pitch.
That's what he's been trying to hit in the first 2 innings and wasn't getting the call, and he finally got that one. So
now the pressure's lifted a little bit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's still there, obviously, with bases loaded, but at least with that big strikeout for Tavares, he's going to be feeling a lot more comfortable throwing this ball down the line.
now this is a guy, and he starts Carter Clearhout with a strike. You got to be a little careful pitching with him. You leave something out over the plate, and he is a big man, and he can hit it a mile.
Yes, he sure can. I mean, he's had already 8 home runs on the year, like I mentioned, with him and Kaliski both tied at 8 and also near the top of the league when it comes to leading home runs. The top leader is at 9 right now, and there's a few players tied in that #1 spot in the league for home run leaders, so they're right behind him, and they're not far off. And I think last year, I'm trying to remember, I'm going to actually take a look right now while we have a moment, and I want to say there wasn't that many home runs last year for the league leader. I'm pretty sure it was maybe 12 was what it ended up being.
Well, Cooper Sazelski, Sylvan Lake Gull, I think was our home run leader.
Yeah.
But I'm testing my memory, and I never did very well at tests. So just FYI.
13 was the most hit
There
last
you go.
year.
Good job.
And that was Nate Mensick, a Moose Jaw. And Saselski also had 13. So yeah, Saselski was tied for the league leading record of home runs last year. So that's not far off from where we were last year. That's for sure.
Grounded down to second, and Yukamoto has got to make the throw across the diamond. And good choice there, as he was kind of in an awkward position, but he made the throw. So the Gulls get out of a bases loaded jam here in the top of the third. And they are up 4-0 coming to bat in the bottom half.
Welcome back to Gulls Field. Cale Clark with Jim Claggett here on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit SylvanLake.ca. Sylvan Lake Gulls getting themselves out of a jam here in the top half of the third inning. Bases loaded situation with only one out, and they keep the Bulls off the scorecard. Gulls are up 4-0, out hitting the Bulls 4-2, and this is Brock Tiarena, the DH tonight for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Still facing on the mound Samuel Herrera, and he's up 0-1, now 0-2. So that's fouled back against the screen.
Yep, Tiarena with the first base hit of the night for the Gulls. And Bryce Turner followed that up with a walk, and then Junior Garcia with a double to center, cashing into 2 runs. And here we sit, Gulls 4, Bulls no score. That rhymes. I'm like Dr. Seuss.
Well done.
In baseball.
Yeah, that could be your next book.
Yeah.
Had to throw it at you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. By the way, how's that coming with your new book? Jim Claggett, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, this is for the very first time or you don't know, my broadcast partner has just released and published his very first book called The Way Back. And that's already hit some platforms. How's everything going on that end?
It's a slow start because some of the sites, not to get too technical, but as Tiarena sends this out into center field for the first out, the sites that the book's distributed to the retailers, and the retailers take their sweet time pricing it properly. I give them a price, and then they finally get all the data together, and then they see what happens with the book themselves, and then they can alternate the price. So,
okay, yeah.
Indie bookstores, you can look for it there.
Perfect.
Barnes and Noble.
Chapters.
So the e-book is out. So I will stop plugging myself. But thank you for allowing me to ramble on.
That's huge stuff. That's
thank you.
Quite an accomplishment. That's something to be very proud of for sure.
Thank you. I took something that was in my mind and I made it physical now. And
yeah.
It's an actual book. I didn't think I'd ever do something like that. I love to read. I didn't think I would actually have my name on a book, though. I can't wait to go to a bookstore and actually see it on the shelf.
See it on the shelf. That'd be cool. And
Yeah.
if I go to Chapters in the near future and I see it, I'm going to be taking a picture.
Okay.
And I'll be sending it to you.
Thank you.
100%.
1-2 the count here on Bryce Turner. This PSA brought to you by. And a called third strike on Turner as he is rung up by home plate umpire Brandon Strachey.
Take a look at this replay here, and yeah, that's just a good frame. I mean, that just caught the lower side of the strike zone. But I think that's the right call by the home plate umpire and Brandon Strachey.
Yep. Junior Garcia with a 2-run double in the third inning. This young man has just had a string of bad luck where he would hit the ball so hard, but it'd be right at somebody. And he kept his faith up. He said, I'm going to get one. He said, they're going to start falling eventually. And sure enough, he powered one over the center fielder, Bernie Sakaris.
Well, they're either hit at somebody or they're pulled left
of
the foul line and
right.
way out of bounds. But, like, they usually have enough to clear the fence.
Oh, they have
Your
enough
truck has been in danger on a couple different counts.
to clear the highway.
Yeah.
Gee. But Samuel Herrera has a good memory. Yeah, I remember what he did to me in the first inning. He's not going to do it again. So 1-2 the count now on Junior Garcia. Rowan O'Connor is on deck. And misses up high, 2-2.
Yeah, boys Idaho native, goes to Whitworth University. Been one of 3 catchers that the Gulls could look to comfortably on a given night. And that's such a lethal weapon to have if you're the Sylvan Lake Gulls, to have, so many good catchers to be able to just kind of rotate their way in on a given night and be pretty confident on whoever you're putting in there to call a good game. And they've done really good job as of late, especially with just the pitchers and, you know, the defense, as we mentioned, just all coming together.
That's
whether
true.
it's your catching, your infield, outfield, or your pitching.
Swing and a miss there for Junior Garcia as he goes down swinging. No runs on no hits and nobody left on base. 3 innings are complete, and we are headed to the top of the 4th. The Gulls with a 4-0 lead.
Welcome back to Gulls Field in the broadcast booth. Jim Claggett, Cale Clark, watching Gulls baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit SylvanLake.ca. The Sylvan Lake Gulls up 4-0 over the Lethbridge Bulls, and that man right there, Leroy Tavares, is having so far a great start, and he's working efficiently as well. 38 pitches so far on the night, as that one grounded right to Yukamoto, and he takes a shot down to first and gets it there in time for the first out.
Yukamoto has been busy. He's had
Sure has.
4 or 3 putouts right now, making them all look nice and smooth.
Not all of them have been easy either. I mean, there's been a couple that have been some challenging throws.
Oh, it's 4 now. Yeah, that's the 4th one. Yeah, and yeah, challenging throws, especially not this one. The one prior to this was as he's moving to his right, throwing to his left. Try that someday at home, folks.
Oh, and then also in a bases loaded situation as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just to add to it.
There was that thing,
Yeah, a little pressure behind it, maybe.
0-1 the count on Steven Andrzejczyk. And the count now 0-2 as he fouls that off.
You know, it's too bad that the Fort McMurray Giants aren't here right now. That batter would be, or pitcher that was talking to you about the Seagulls, would be getting his view right now.
Yeah.
A lot of seagulls flying over Gulls Field right now.
Yeah, one of the Giants pitchers from Aruba. He asked me, where are the seagulls?
Yeah.
I said, well, you throw some French fries out in the ground in the outfield, and you'll get them coming. They'll find them. But yeah, it was. I told him about our very first game there when the Gulls won, and the seagulls, the flock of seagulls, flew right over top of the stadium. That was impressive. I remember that vividly.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, how did you do that, you guys? Did you have them like all in a cage and then you released them? No. Good luck caging a seagull. This is into foul territory, and Bryce Turner gets a beat on it and then gets a glove on it. And that's the second out of the inning there for Leroy Tavares and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Good job there by Bryce Turner. They're all smiling. Winning makes it fun, doesn't it?
Sure does, and just the overall atmosphere of that dressing room and the morale of the players are on an all-time high when you're winning.
Yeah, pretty loose bunch.
Yeah. They haven't had a win in a couple games, however. The Sylvan Lake Gulls coming off 2 straight against Fort McMurray, who have shown their resiliency.
This is over to Jaden Flores, not Jaden Flores. That is Anthony Gilbert making his first defensive play for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And it's a good one, a strong throw across the diamond for the third out. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for the Gulls and Leroy Tavares. The Gulls coming to bat in the bottom of the fourth.
Still 4-0 here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Gulls lead it over the Lethbridge Bulls, looking to tie them not only on the season series that is, but also in the standings for that second place spot in the West if they win tonight. This is Rowan O'Connor leading things off for Sylvan Lake against Samuel Herrera on the mound. First pitch coming in. A little bit off speed. That's a called strike. Rowan O'Connor had that RBI double back in the first inning.
Missing down low. 1-1 now.
You know, for the way the weather was shaping up today and the way it was all day here in central Alberta, pretty good attendance for considering.
Yeah.
For what the weather was doing. I mean,
ooh,
that hits Rowan O'Connor.
Well, there's more than one way to get on base. That's the more painful way, but he gets a slap on the back of the head from Cam Diaz over at first, and yeah.
It's almost like he absorbed that a little bit, the way he arched that back.
Well, he knew it was coming.
Yeah,
it's like, this is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. But he's over at first, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Bryce Hampton.
Washington State University kid. He's from Bozeman, Montana.
Montana's a really nice state to drive through.
Yeah, it is.
There's lots to see, especially when you go through the mountain passes on the I-15. And Bryce Hampton sends this. Look at the
Look at
stride.
that stride by O'Connor.
I love watching Rowan O'Connor run the bases. It is so much fun. He is just like a big thoroughbred.
It's like a giraffe running.
Well,
Really.
a little more graceful.
A little bit more graceful. Giraffes are a little bit more goofy looking, but you know, he's just got a long stride. I mean, that's incredible. I bet one of his strides would take me 3.
Yeah, he's got the long legs, and he does run like some kind of African animal. Like yeah. And you could just see it like he puts it into another gear, but it doesn't look like he's going fast, and yet all of a sudden he's over at third base.
Yeah, he's got a good speed.
Yep. Kyle Lewis taking the first pitch from Samuel Herrera in for a strike. Top of the order, Tai Yukimoto is on deck. Gulls looking to add to their 4-0 lead here in the bottom half of the fourth inning with runners on first and third and nobody out. This is when you have to cash in these runs because we know the Lethbridge team can score some runs. And that's missing in high on Kyle Lewis, who popped up to the second baseman in the second inning. That's inside. So far, Leroy Tavares has been solid in his 4 innings of work. And it might be, I didn't see any handshakes, but I see Reese Usselman working out in the, or loosening up in the bullpen. And a good rip there by Kyle Lewis.
Yeah, took a big swing at it, good cut, but unfortunately for him, just missing the ball completely on that one as he goes underneath of it. Good pitch by Herrera. You know, the Bulls have some really good pitching this year, and you know, one of the guys that maybe the Sylvan Lake Gulls are glad they're not seeing on the mound right now is Levi Abbott, as Abbott leads the pitching leaders in wins and ERA at 150. And they also have another guy in that bullpen on the staff as this is hit fair past Carter Claro. That's going to be another RBI driven, maybe 2, as they're sending home Bryce Hampton, and he comes in and he'll slide in safely. And just like that, Sylvan Lake Gulls go up by 6 now.
So a couple of RBIs there by Tai Yukamoto. I can't believe Bryce Hampton scoring all the way from first, as an aggressive move there by third base coach Wyatt McKnight, who's just kept the arm going. Or what was that, Jason Chatwood?
Was it aggressive?
Yeah, I think that is Chatty over there.
The left fielder, number 7, Jaden.
Or maybe
No,
it is.
that's Wyatt.
It is Wyatt. See, when I say it's Jason, it's Wyatt. When I say it's Wyatt, it's Jason. These guys need their numbers on the back or something. That's right back up the middle and into the glove of Samuel Herrera. He was looking to double up Tai Yukamoto, but there was nobody over at second base for him to throw to. So, second out of the inning, though, however, was in the glove of Herrera. So 2 down, and Anthony Gilbert steps in with the base runner over at second base. 0-1 the count. It's like a seeing eye single there by Tai Yukamoto, just over the bag over at first. Carter Clairhout, if he was 6'5", he might have got that, but he was 6'4". He just missed it by an inch.
Yeah, that's a tough play.
Solid base running by Bryce Hampton as he just gave her around second and got the wave around third. And a little foul tip there caught by the catcher Ben Simmons. The count 2-1 now. And a called strike there on Anthony Gilbert, who's 0 for 2 on the night. Ground ball and a fly out. And Yukamoto is on his way and just about gets that one in the head.
Yeah, right on the hit and run there. Oh, they're going to second here.
And Anthony Gilbert stays on the bag. He timed his slide just perfectly and gets himself a double and an RBI. So we've seen a short bit of example of how this guy can play. There's Yukamoto, had to put the brakes on or he would have run right into that ball. And scores the run. Run number 7 here for the Gulls through 4 innings. And Brock Tiarina steps in now to face Samuel Herrera with Anthony Gilbert over on second. So 4 runs in the first and 3 now here in the bottom of the 4th inning, giving the Gulls a 7-0 advantage over the visiting Lethbridge Bulls.
Yeah, Lethbridge Bulls only, well, they're not a bad record by any means, but 6-4 in their last 10, and almost a 500 team as of late. And you know, they had some tough games. They had to play Medicine Hat. They played against Sylvan Lake. They got that win the last time these two teams met. That was a 5-3 win in Lethbridge. Then they went and took on Medicine Hat and then Saskatoon for a pair. They lost against Medicine Hat. They lost the first game against Saskatoon 13-2. And then the last game on July 18th, they beat Saskatoon Berries 5-3. So they're coming off of a big win against the Berries, but they've had some tough competition in the schedule as of late. And so do the Gulls, actually. As Sylvan Lake Gulls, as that schedule comes up, it's actually going to be a lot trickier of a schedule for them as well, as they got some tough opponents to play, with Okotoks being one of them.
Of course.
Energy City, who's given them a pretty good ride on games this year to start the season. They'll be playing them for a few. And then, of course, Fort McMurray, the doubleheader next Sunday night and afternoon.
Well, and we've got a doubleheader against Energy City, too, right?
And a doubleheader against Energy City, absolutely. Yeah. And then a couple more games here at Gulls Field against Lethbridge, and then another game against Okotoks in August as well, other than the one that takes place on Wednesday.
So plenty of baseball to fill out your evenings here in Central Alberta, if you so desire.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons held that there for the home plate umpire, Strachey, but it's a ball. The count now full on T. Arena, who had a single in the first and then flew out to center field in the third. And he sends this down the left field line, but that's sailing foul.
Well, some warm-up going on in the Lethbridge Bulls bullpen right now, as that looks like it's going to be number 29 getting loose, Tyler Pauly from Fisher, Texas.
Yeah, and then, of course, Reese Usselman is now throwing from the rubber in the bullpen. There's Reese. And a walk given up there to Tiarina by Samuel Herrera. As Tiarina trots down to first base and is greeted there, as always, by the keeper of the first base bag, Cam Diaz. And that'll bring up Bryce Turner, who walked and then was caught looking for the third strike. He takes a good rip at that one.
Well, this is just the part of the game where the Bulls kind of run into trouble. They get up quickly 2 away, and then they seem to have a tough time finding that third out against their opponents. And this is the twice tonight now. That's where both innings the scoring has come from the Sylvan Lake Gulls, as being a 2-out rally.
The 1-1 pitch from Herrera. And that's popped up in the infield. Carter Clairhout comes in, loses his hat, but the important thing was he caught the ball. So a pop up to the third baseman brings the inning to the close, but 3 more runs on the board for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as they carry a 7-0 lead into the top half of the 5th inning. There we go. My cousin's just got a shout
Well, I
out
was just
in
going to
the
say, we were talking about the special guest in attendance, and you you hooked it up, did you?
I pulled some strings.
Yeah.
I know
some strings
somebody.
pulled. Yeah, fair enough.
So very nice of the O'Byrne clan to come here and watch the Sylvan Lake Gulls. We had a visit with them last night and here in Sylvan Lake, and it was a lot of fun getting together with my cousins.
Nice. So this is cousins on which side, Jim?
On my mom's side.
Mom's side, okay.
Yep. In fact, now just a little bit as who was that now?
That was Adonis
Bernal. He's only had 2 pitches thrown at him, and he swung at both of them. And they both ended up as an out.
Glove,
but,
yeah.
you know, that's okay. He's anxious to. So this will bring up the catcher, Ben Simmons.
Leroy Tavares still on the mound, by the
Yep.
way, for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Wondering if this might be his last inning of work with
I think he will
Reese Osselman, who's been warming up and getting hot pretty quickly in the bullpen.
Yep. That's grounded down to Bryce Turner over at first. He's going to take it himself and step on the bag and retire Mr. Simmons for the second out. So as I was going to say, on my mom's side, the O'Byrne family, there's some from down around the Dublin area, but a lot in Northern Ireland, around the area where the British Open was played. They're from a little island called Torhead, just near Giant's Causeway.
Okay.
So there you go. Where Finn McCool crossed over to fight the Scottish giant, Finn Mc something or other. I can't remember. I don't remember my Irish history as well as I should. So, but it was another giant that he fought, and that's why he used the causeway to cross over.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's your history lesson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Love it.
Probably inaccurate, but it's a history lesson.
Yeah, it's a history lesson nonetheless.
That's right. That's how I see it.
Yeah, there you go.
1-1 the count here on Luke Wheatley.
Well, I'm just glad that they could take in a game. I was a little worried for them watching what the weather was doing ahead of this one, but glad that the sun came out and it's turning into a pretty nice night. A little cool, but they look like they're dressed up for it.
They're smart.
Yeah, they're smart, folks.
A lot smarter than me. 1-2 the count now on Luke Wheatley with 2 down here in the top half of the 5th inning. And a check, third strike. Maybe they're going to call, and nope. They check down with MJ Willis over at first, and she says nope. 94 on the gun, though, for Leroy Tavares. He was hoping to get the K on that one as well, as this might be his last inning pitched. I was going to say last batter, but I mean, obviously if Wheatley gets a hit, he's going to have another batter. And it's the top of the order, Bernie Sakaris.
His body language is kind of telling you a little bit about how he's feeling about this at-bat right now. He's getting a little frustrated. Can't believe this guy's staying alive. Luke Wheatley, who does a good job in the batter's box. He's already got a base hit tonight back in the 3rd inning. That's close.
Just misses outside.
That was a great pitch. I mean, that's a pitch that's hard not to chase after if you're Luke Wheatley.
Yeah, Leroy, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, doesn't he? You can tell what's going on in his mind just by his expressions, and you're right, his body language speaks volumes. 3-2 pitch on Wheatley is down in the dirt, and Wheatley wins that battle as he draws the walk to keep the inning going for the Lethbridge Bulls.
That's only the 2nd walk Tavares has given up tonight.
Yeah, the Bulls have had 2 base runners by the hit and 2 by the walk. So a good job so far done by Leroy Tavares from Snyder, Texas. Bernie Sakaris steps in now, and he had a single the last time he was up in the 3rd inning and then struck out to start the game for the Bulls. Missing up high. Evens the count at 1-1. And off-speed pitch there from Tavares, missing high. The count 2-1, and I see Matt Hape, the pitching coach, making his way down to the bullpen to see if Reese Usselman is ready to come in because he might pull him right now.
Yeah.
And
a
I
good
think
swing.
Leroy saw that as well and said, okay, here, wait a minute. I
I'm
got
not done
one more.
yet. Yeah, exactly.
I got more left in the tank here. 2-2 the count with 2 down. Base runner over at first and Luke Wheatley.
Oh, wow.
And Leroy's just shaking his head saying, I think that was a good one. He's had that pitch called once tonight, and he keeps trying it, so he keeps going back to the well, hoping that he's going to get the call again. And the count now full on Sakaris. And he stays alive by fouling that off.
Well, the Sylvan Lake Gulls were represented well last night at the WCBL All-Star Game as the Sylvan Lake Gulls pitcher Matthew McKenzie pitched one scoreless inning, only 12 pitches thrown.
Yep, he ground out, strike out, ground out
Yeah.
is what he told me.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
Limited time, but he can mark down his all-star appearances. That was perfect.
Yeah.
And a called third strike. The inside call goes in the favor of the Gulls starter, Leroy Tavares, for a strikeout to bring the inning to a close and probably his night to a close as well. But the Gulls avoid anything here with runs scored, and after 5 or 4.5, I should say, Gulls with a 7-0 lead coming to bat. Welcome back to Gulls Field at Pegattle Park. Jim Claggett, Cale Clark here on FloCollege. WCBL action between the Sylvan Lake Gulls and the visiting Lethbridge Bulls. New pitcher in for the Bulls. That is number 29, Tyler Pauly from Fisher, Texas.
Yeah, Pauly goes to Our Lady of the Lake University.
Well, that's what that OLLU stands for.
Yeah.
I had that
It's a
on my
different
sheet, and all I said, Olu. He goes to Olu.
Olu, yeah.
No, that's not what it's an acronym, Jim.
An acronym that I put on there. Even I was wondering what it was until I
okay.
looked, and then I'm like, oh, that's what it is. So
That's
yeah.
what it is. Our Lady of the Lake.
Oh,
Ouch. And
ouch.
Junior Tavares gets dinged there.
Oh, man. He's a
Or,
catcher, so
Junior
he's going to
Garcia,
shake
I
that
should
off.
say.
Yeah, I mean, you could hear that from way up here. Clear as day. That made a loud noise. And
Ouch.
right off the elbow pad, I think, is why that sounded so loud. Good thing it hit some padding, or else that could have been dangerous.
Catchers just get beat up no matter where they are in the game. And a ground ball by Rowan O'Connor, and they are going to turn two as a great grab over there by Carter Clairhout. Falling to his right, he hangs onto the ball and keeps his foot on the base as a good turn there by second baseman Brendan McTavish. And again, good glove there by Carter Clairhout. Gets the out.
Well, it wouldn't have been started without Luke Wheatley either. That was a good grab, fielding that ball, and it kind of felt it in the palm of his mitt there, so he grabbed it, hung on to it, and quick flip over to second to turn that double play.
So some good defense by the Bulls gets them out of a jam here. With two down now, and Bryce Hampton at the plate for the Gulls. Hampton grounded out to third and had a single in the fourth inning, and then scored on Tai Yukamoto's hit down the first baseline. And Hampton grounds this over to short, and Luke Wheatley minus his hat, but makes the play and brings the inning to a close. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for the new pitcher, Pauly. And we are going to the top of the sixth, Gulls with a 7-0 lead. Welcome back. Gulls baseball here on FloCollege. Great job there by Leroy Tavares. 5 innings of work. He gave up just the 2 hits, walked 2 batters, struck out 4, and did not give up a run. As it could have been even better if he was getting that call. As he'll tell me, if I was getting that call on the right-handed batters inside, he says there would have been no hits. Because we know what Leroy's like. But the new guy taking the mound there is number 26. That's Reese Usselman from Langley, BC.
Good old Langley. You know, it's crazy to think when you get into that part of BC. So because I've never been that far west, I wasn't really sure what to expect. It's crazy how close Langley is to all the other major cities on your way to Vancouver. They're all just in a row. Mm-hmm. And it honestly just feels all like one big city that you're driving through. But Langley, BC, good area to grow up in.
Probably is.
Yeah. Not far from the big city.
Not far from the big city.
You got everything there, that's for sure.
It seems like, where are you from? Vancouver. Well, no, actually Burnaby. Well, no, Langley. No.
Yeah.
Well, Vancouver. You
Yeah.
know? And people say, well, they know where Vancouver is. It's kind of like the Coachella Valley in California, where all the cities are, they're right across the street from each other.
Yeah.
You're in Indio, and all of a sudden you're in Palm Desert, and then all of a sudden you're in Palm Springs.
It's just easier to say Palm Springs for most people, but yeah.
And that's easier to say Vancouver
exactly.
for most people.
Yeah.
I'm losing my eraser here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Big world problems.
Oh, and a big off-speed pitch there. 74 miles per hour had Lee Matsuzaki way out in front.
Whew. I wasn't expecting that.
That's a change from what we were seeing on the 93 mile per hour.
I see what you did there.
That's
like
a
change.
That's a change.
That's an old man joke.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Wish I'd have thought of that. Reese Usselman is up, or tie. I'm sure the count is 1-1, I should say, on the right fielder, Lee Matsusaki. He takes over from Leroy Tavares, who had a good night. And I liked your explanation there of what Tavares did when he came up and was getting high-fived by his teammates. You want to explain that?
Yeah. So
we weren't on camera there or on the air when you explained that to me.
Well, let's just say Tavares likes pitching, and so he's getting all the high fives from the players, and his pitching coach and Matt Haight was kind of standing off to the side waiting for the handshake, but Tavares just kind of kept walking. And then he walked into the dugout. Well, I think he shook. I did see on the replay after what I originally witnessed. He did shake Coach Chatwood's hand, but then he started walking down the dugout away from Matt Hape, as this is a walk to Lee Matsuzaki, and Matt Hape had to literally follow him all the way to the end of the dugout to finally shake his hand to say, your night is over.
Make it official.
Yeah, make it official, exactly. And I think you could tell with Leroy Tavares, I don't think he was ready for that handshake yet, but a good night for him, and just a good job done by him to shut the door on such a powerful offensive Lethbridge Bulls team. I mean, they have been dangerous all year long, and there's a reason why they won the championship in 2021 and why they've been a contending team in the last 3 seasons.
Well, this is Red Deer's Carter Clairhout stepping in now to face Reese Usselman. That misses down low. 2-0 the count now. Junior Garcia is going to head out to have a little chat. I think Leroy Tavares was probably thinking, well, if he doesn't see me, if he doesn't shake my hand, I can go back out for the 6th inning.
Exactly. Maybe if I hide from him for a bit.
He can't find me. He can't take me out of the game.
Yeah.
Of course, he's wrong, but,
But yeah, good job done. I'm sure he's going to be pretty happy and proud of himself with that performance.
Yeah, I think he will be.
For his first start, especially as a Gull. I mean, he's just used to coming in halfway through and being a relief pitcher. So being a starter and getting that great start, not allowing any runs, that's got to feel good for the youngster.
So now with a 7-0 lead, it'll be interesting to see how Coach Hape handles the bullpen and how much of a leash he gives guys like Reese Usselman and anybody else that he brings in there, because I think they want to preserve this this lead and not let Lethbridge creep too close. And a 4-pitch walk.
Oh, boy.
So back-to-back walks given up by Reese Usselman. And Matt Hape is on his way out to the mound to have a little chat with his young pitcher. And there is some action in the bullpen, of course. There's a couple of guys that are stretching, but we're not sure which one of them is. Oh, that's Simon Baker, yeah.
They're going to kind of rush whoever is in the bullpen quickly here. It wasn't much of a stretch. It was a quick stretch to let's get loose, start throwing it. So we'll see who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know if it is Baker or not. From way up here.
Okay.
Our guy in the truck says it could be Simon Baker. He's got better eyes than we do right now with his cameras, so keep our eyes on that as he backs out slowly to the rubber in the bullpen.
Of course, he steps right out of camera view. Yeah, it is Simon Baker.
Okay, it is, yeah. Simon Baker. There you go.
Okay. And that looks like Cam Diaz sitting there on the bench, too. So got a couple of guys in the bullpen, but Simon Baker is the one that's got his jacket off and is getting closer and closer to throwing to the from the rubber in the bullpen. So I think the leash is short right now on Reese Usselman after giving up back-to-back walks. And he comes inside on Jack Kaliski with nobody out. Runners on first and second. The Bulls trailing 7-0 here in the 6th inning, but they've got something going. And Usselman has thrown 6 pitches in a row now, and not one has been a strike. So he's having a little difficulty with his location. Well, the 2-0 pitch. That misses down low.
Oh boy.
So he's in danger of walking the first 3 batters that he faces here in the 6th inning. And there we go. And the crowd gets on him on that one, but more on the "we're behind you," not the mocking, "hey, you finally threw a strike." That would be for the other team.
Yeah.
So we can tell by the applause.
More classier fans here in Sylvan Lake than that. They're a little more forgiving.
And Usselman battles back to a full count now against Kaliski, as nobody's had to swing a bat because they're just waiting for him to throw a strike and see if he could do it a 3rd time here. On the 3-2 pitch here from Reese Usselman to Jack Kaliski. And he comes back and he battles back hard and gets the strikeout after 3 straight balls to Jack Kaliski.
That was a great pitch too.
Oh yeah.
It had some movement from the outside to the in. And that was a great pitch. That's gonna just, for him too, to get that first strikeout after, throwing so many balls, 7 balls in a row, to come back and get that strikeout. That's huge for him, and now it'll be interesting to see what that does for his confidence moving forward.
He comes right back inside on Steven Andrejczyk.
Yeah, he's not afraid to throw it inside, that's for sure. And that's kind of good news if you're, a fan, or for him. They say to keep that confidence rolling. You talk to any pitcher, and you never want to shy away from anything. As soon as you start shying away from things, that's when things can go wrong. And here's a double play chance here for Usselman.
Oh, they got it too.
Wow.
They got it. A good job there by Tai Yukamoto fielding that throw from Reese Usselman. And his teammates know exactly what just went on there, and they come out to congratulate Reese. Watch this play here. Oh, that's the strikeout. I thought it was going to be the double play. Well, we're done.
Well, the Sylvan Lake Gulls have had to get themselves out of a jam a couple times, but definitely on this play, how about Reese Usselman from the mound making the throw over to second and then to first. That first throw didn't maybe quite get there that he wanted, but it bounced enough and it had enough speed to start that double play, and that was a huge inning there for Usselman. Just the strikeout gets his confidence, and then he just turns a double play and gets things started the right way. So the Sylvan Lake Gulls have done that now twice tonight, where they find themselves in a deep jam. A couple base runners, one was loaded bases, one with 2 on, and they find a way to escape the inning without any harm done.
Yeah, they're helping out their pitchers. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Simon Baker comes in. He's been warming up since Reese Usselman took over. So maybe that's the only inning for Usselman. Matt Hape's gone into the bullpen to see how his young pitcher is. But he's not throwing anymore, so. And a foul tip there by Kyle Lewis. And it winds up in the glove. Oh, good job there by Ben Simmons to make the grab on that, hang on to it, and they get the strikeout to start things here in the 6th inning. Top of the order, Tai Yukamoto will step in to face the second pitcher of the night for the Bulls in Tyler Pauley. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Gulls Field at Pagato Park. Jim Claggett, Gail Clark here on the broadcast, FloCollege. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're inside nice and warm and cozy.
Yeah, and
the
dry.
rain has started now, and the umbrellas are breaking out, and the fans are heading for cover.
And it's coming down quick and hard. It's really evacuating the seats right now here at Gulls Field.
Mother Nature just had one more
Yeah.
in her bag of tricks as Tai Yukamoto takes a good cut at that one.
Yeah, that's a heavy rain.
Yep. Well, you said there was one more system coming our way.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to show up till later on, but it showed up quicker than anticipated, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how much longer this game goes.
Yeah.
We hope it can continue, but it technically would be, at least the good news is, Jim, is it would be considered a complete game at this point.
It would be, yeah.
And with a 7-0 lead, I would think they'd have a little bit more, I guess they'd be a little bit more easier to come to a conclusion on a decision on calling this game with it being the way it's going.
Yeah. They'll look at the radar and see if there's a break in the system or if it's just going to continue and make a decision based on that. As Yukamoto takes a walk down to first base. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Jaden Flores. So there's the radar that we're looking at here.
And that is going to go for a while by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's going to be around
until
for a
about
while.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Supposedly. So that's according to my radar. Everybody's radar is different. Radars are never necessarily all that accurate either.
You would think they would be. It's radar, for crying out
Yeah.
loud. It's either on the screen or it's not on the screen, right? But this is
I can see blue sky, and there's the system right there, and it's showing on that system. It doesn't get over past Sylvan Lake until midnight.
Yeah.
So that's not good. Now let's take another look here. Let's just keep it on for a moment, Calvin, if you don't mind. So right now, this is where we're at, and it is in a deep pocket all the way 10 p.m. still going, and then a little bit of a break at 11 p.m. and then it hits again right after. So we're in a rain delay officially now. The umpires have cleared the fields and have called this one for a little bit more of a delay. So we've had a 1 hour delay before this game began, and now it is up to the umpire's discretion on how long this delay will last and if we call this game. So we'll step aside. We will be back. Please hang in tight, stay warm, stay inside, whatever you're doing. We'll try to provide you updates as this rain delay goes on. We'll be back soon with more Gulls baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by visitsylvanlake.ca.
Here Hey fans, we're waiting for updates, watching the radar. Promise we're doing everything we can. Thanks for doing everything you can. We appreciate your patience tonight, sticking around. The good news is $5 draft is on during the rain delay. Please drink responsibly. $5 draft on right now. Thanks everyone.
thunder rolls, and the thunder rolls. The thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night as the storm blows all out of control. Deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. She's waiting by the window when he pulls into the drive. She rushes out to hold him, thankful he's alive. But on the wind and rain, a strange new perfume blows, and the lightning flashes in her eyes, and he knows that she knows, and the thunder rolls, and the thunder rolls. The thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night as the storm blows on out of control. Deep in her heart, the thunder rolls.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, while we have a moment here, and since we get to be down here on the field with her, it is time to recognize our TD Bobcat Batgirl. Say hi to Michelle Sinclair.
It's always raining. Why is it always raining? Washes all my dreams.
Our amazing promo crew, concessions team, merch staff, ticketing team, and the behind-the-scenes broadcast crew here earlier today. We're getting ready just like you are. We work hard just like you do. And Mike from Tech Heating? Yeah, Tech Heating in Suite 7 just bought us all a round of $5 beers. Mike, we appreciate you. Suite 7, all of you, as we look down on the field. 5 minutes, everybody. The players are taking the field. 5 minutes. This game is back on. We are ready to go if you are. Stand by. The ball game is about to begin. Thanks to Mike from Tech Heating and Air Conditioning. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much.
And on the empty street, a girl stood all alone, expecting someone she knew would not return. And the sky came pouring down, and the thunder crashed around as the bus pulled out and drove away.
Here we go, everyone. It's time to play ball. The count is right on the board. 1 ball, no strikes. There's 1 out. And the batter continues. There's a runner on first as well. The left fielder is at.
Well, welcome back to Gulls Baseball. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for staying with us if you're still watching from the comfort of your own home. That rain delay only lasting about, what, 10 minutes, Jim, or so?
Yeah,
and we will
in that area,
continue here in the bottom, maybe 15. Continue in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Still 1 away, and at the plate is Jaden Flores with a runner over at first. That's Tai Yokomoto. He got back on with a walk. Striking out to lead things off, though, was Kyle Lewis. So that's where the 1 out comes from. 7 hits to the 2 of the Lethbridge Bulls. The Gulls lead at 7-0 here on FloCollege. Gulls baseball, as that has popped up back into an empty seat. No harm done there, as nobody's sitting in that row.
A lot of empty seats there.
Lady comes over to grab the ball, and she's got a souvenir.
Yep, simple as that. She goes, hey, I got a ball. There.
And she's looking for a kid to give it to, but all the kids ran away from her, so she's going to give it to her,
probably her grandson.
Grandson, yeah.
I'm betting.
That's the Falls, by the way. Jeff Falls. I actually worked with their son.
That's their little guy, Noah.
Yeah, it's Noah. So
yeah,
I actually worked with Jeff Falls' son, Eli. And Eli and I worked together at the Red Deer Golf and Country Club back years ago. So
okay,
I kind of know them, sort of. And I know the Falls is more now that they come to every Gulls game, season ticket holders and proud partners and supporters of the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Yeah, well, little Noah was in the library when we were reading
Yeah.
a couple of Saturdays ago. That's how I got
believe
to meet
Grandpa
them.
brought him there.
Yes, that's how I got to meet them. Anyway, Tai Yukamoto, I believe, stole a base there. And that's just going to flop down. And shortstop Luke Wheatley tried to barehand that.
Well, you look at the reaction of Yukamoto. He has to hustle back to second base, and then he just stands still. Oh, just don't move. Don't move.
Yeah, don't hit me with the ball.
Yeah, just let the play happen around me. So
that could be counted as a base hit, I think. That'll bring up Anthony Gilbert. So Yukamoto and Flores are the base runners. Anthony Gilbert with a double the last time he came to bat and got himself an RBI. And I'm noticing that we're missing some ball players, but we've got some new ball players because number 45 last week was Michael Quick.
was Bob, wasn't it? Oh.
Well, it was first Noah.
Yeah, it was first
Bourgeois,
Noah. Yeah, Bourgeois.
And then Michael Quick, and now we've got Anthony Gilbert. And
Michael
play
Quick.
on there.
Michael Quick was 44.
Was he 44?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought he was 45. No, you're right then. That was
So
that was Bob.
Noah Bourgeois, yeah, who was they called Bob, who was quite the character, and yeah, I guess he has moved on.
Yeah, and also, I have not seen Big Vess.
Yeah, he could be gone too. And another player, and I haven't seen him in a while. Matty Fung.
Oh, Matty's here.
Is Matty still
here?
Okay.
Yeah, I ran into him in the hallway. His dad's coming up at the end of the month.
Okay, good.
Rob?
That's good to hear. I just haven't seen him in a while. That is hit well
into
left field. That's got no chance. See you later.
Anthony Gilbert making an impression in his second game as a Sylvan Lake Gull with a 3-run homer. And he's making the Lethbridge Bulls wish they would have called this game. 7-0 looks better than 10-0, I guess. But a 3-run shot for Anthony Gilbert. Welcome to Sylvan Lake, young man. Why not?
Wow, that was smashed.
Yes, it was.
The left fielder just could only watch that one go as he just didn't even think about it. That went all the way back. That had to be at least 400 feet.
Yeah, that didn't move off its trajectory very much. It was going, and it was long gone. And the rain's coming down harder again now. And this is looped into shallow left field, and that's going to drop for another base hit. So my little feeling that the Gulls were going to kind of explode a bit here. Why don't I get a feeling that I'm going to win a lottery?
You should maybe go buy a lotto ticket after what your feeling of stomach problems, which wasn't stomach problems. It was just a good feeling of what was to come here tonight. And, yeah, the bats really opened up, Jim. You called it.
10 runs, 10 hits.
You felt something that, it was a matter of time. The Gulls batting was just going to explode. And, great timing against a tough Lethbridge Bulls team who know how to put runs on the board as well, but tonight they've been shut out pretty neatly.
And I think this might be, it might be a case where the umpires can get together and get the teams together and say, look, guys, look at the score, look at the weather. Do we really want to wait a half an hour to make it official? I think it's more, let's have a gentleman's agreement. Are we done? Maybe we're done.
Yeah, tough to say. It'd be interesting to see how this inning goes. If once this inning's over, if they get together and meet or if they just keep playing through.
And there's a stolen base attempt there as Brock Tiarina gets himself an extra bag. He swipes that easily. No throw made there by Ben Simmons.
Oh, and Brendan McTavish is having some fun too with that's Brock Tiarina. He pretended that he had the ball and he was tagging Tiarina, but he didn't even have the ball. And they both shared some laughs, so that's popped up.
Into the glove of the right fielder Matsusaki, and that is the second out of the inning.
At least the players are still having fun.
Yeah, I guess they are.
Good.
I don't know how much fun it is really to play baseball in the rain, though.
Yeah,
Playing football in the rain was one thing. Playing soccer in the rain was one thing. But playing baseball in the rain, I never liked it. Just trying to grip a ball, and I was a pitcher and an outfielder, and both times he's trying to grip the ball, and it's kind of like, this is no fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you feel this vibrating?
I'm watching the kids having fun on the berm right now. They're sliding down
Oh,
like
yeah.
a water
They're
slide.
having fun.
They're having a blast.
Yeah. The desk was vibrating here.
Could have just been the music.
Yeah.
Good bass. Good bass at the Gulls field here.
Could be.
Yeah.
Junior Garcia steps in now. And he gives this a ride, too.
My goodness.
Junior.
See you later.
Ta-ta.
Wow. Monster smash by Junior Garcia. His 4th RBI on the night. Makes it 12-0 Gulls. This one getting out of hand fast.
Wow. Okay. That is, Junior got himself all of that one, and he kept it fair.
Yeah, the wind, well, and the wind was pushing it. It was trailing towards that foul pole, and then that wind just brought it right back in and kept it fair. That cleared the fence.
So we are 2 outs away from 6 complete innings here, and the Gulls have, or 1 out away, sorry. Thank you, Calvin. I always said I need an editor. Even not just when I write, when I speak. This brings up Rowan O'Connor. And he sends this into left field, but this is going to stay in the park. And Adonis Bernal makes the grab, brings the inning to a close, but the Gulls put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more runs on the board. They have a 12-0 lead over the Lethbridge Bulls, and the home plate umpire, Brandon Strachey, has gone over to the Lethbridge bench. Wyatt McKnight or Jason Chatwood.
That's Jason Chatwood coming behind the home plate.
He's coming
here.
behind them and
They're
saying,
going to meet and just see.
Guys, do you want to put an end to this?
Yeah.
I'm not reading lips or anything, folks.
But I would assume that's exactly what this meeting is going to be about. Is all right? Do we want to keep trying to push through this rain? It's a 12-0 lead for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, or does the other team want to forfeit and just call this a complete game? And being a competitive bone in his body for the head coach of Lethbridge Bulls, he's not going to want to give it up that easily or quickly.
But at the same time, you
got to look out for the health of the players and the liability it is with slipping around, sliding.
So they're having a good discussion here, that's for sure, as Reese Husselman continues to warm up on the mound, getting ready for the start of the 7th inning. There's Reese. So he gets to come back in here and maybe get one more inning of work. But at the same time, the 2 managers and the umpire are having a chat about what are we going to do here, guys? And we don't have a vote.
Well, and another thing, too, is the Lethbridge Bulls will be playing in a doubleheader tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to take into consideration if you're Lethbridge.
Good point.
You got a lot of baseball still left to be played.
Well, I believe.
Okay, the umpire's going.
I believe.
Okay, there.
We might be done here, folks. I'm not sure. I'm just reading the body language of Brandon Strachey, and it's kind of like, yep, the players are headed off the field, and I don't know if this is a delay now or is this call the game because of inclement weather and a lopsided score, and I believe that's what it's going on there, folks. I'm seeing high fives from the Gulls players.
So we're still just waiting here. The Gulls are celebrating. Matt Hape is telling players just to go back to the bench.
Not the way we wanted it to start, not the way we wanted it to end, but certainly a good win nonetheless. Our sincere appreciation and thanks.
Well, welcome back, Gulls fans. That was a quick rain delay. Probably our quickest yet that we have had here in Sylvan Lake for rain delays as from start to finish. But a lot of rain delays at that tonight. 3 rain delays. They have officially called it. 12-0, the Sylvan Lake Gulls will hold on for a win, as this is considered a complete game. 6 complete innings, 12 runs, and thanks to a big man who hit 4 RBIs himself, that big shot just recently in the catcher, Junior Garcia. What a game.
Junior Garcia has had the little black cloud of bad luck over his head for about, I would say, four games, maybe 5 games, where he hits the ball really hard and it's right at somebody.
Yeah.
Well, tonight he figured it out. Hit it over the fence. They can't catch that one. So he started by hitting one over the head of the center fielder for 2 RBIs, and then he cleared the bases with another one. So, yeah, good job by Junior Garcia, and good job by Leroy Tavares.
Well,
and a good job there by Reese Usselman, who came in. Got himself in a jam, then got himself out of a jam. So there you go.
Well, and if my name's Jim Claggett, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket, because you didn't call just one thing tonight. You called 2 things. And that second thing being, you said off air to me, I hope Junior Garcia has a game tonight. I hope he can really get the bat going. And you know what? He got that bat going. Not only did the offense as a whole get going, Junior Garcia, after hard work, was credited a lot of great things tonight. And we're standing by with our Jared Waldo, player of the game.
Here's Jared Waldo with tonight's player of the game.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Well, it's like you said, it's not the way we wanted to start or finish, but here we are, and here is your EG Auctions player of the game, Junior Garcia. As we discussed, Junior, this one was all over the map tonight. Just talk about, as a player, when you're walking into a delay and then there's multiple delays, and just what kind of experience this is for a player.
It's a little weird preparing for the game. It's going to get pushed back. You kind of know it, and then, you have to take your breaks in between, but you just go to work and be about going to business.
Well, and the way this game was going, we're at 12-0 right now as the game was continuing to progress. Right out of the gates, you guys were just off and ready to play this game, and obviously it was showing there on the scoreboard.
Yeah, baseball works in weird ways. Yesterday we played Fort Mac, lined out a bunch, but today everything was kind of falling in our way, so can't complain.
Well, let's hope we can keep the good vibes going as you guys head out, and best of luck, and we'll see you back here real soon.
Thank you.
Your EG Auctions player of the game, Junior Garcia.
Well, that was a good game for Junior Garcia. 4 RBIs, 1 being a homer, 1 being a double, and just catching the ball behind the plate that he does so best at every single night. He did another terrific job behind the plate for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. So that will do it here tonight, but the Sylvan Lake Gulls will hit the links tomorrow, a golf course. It's the annual Sylvan Lake Gulls Birdie Bash tomorrow on the Alberta Springs Golf Course before they hit the road in Brooks. But something to note, fans, on Thursday, July 24th, after the Okotoks Dogs game, which is the night before, they play the Energy City Cactus Rats, but it's technically a road game. But that game will be taking place here at Gulls Field. And it's not just one game, it's 2 games. It's going to be a doubleheader. They're going to do 2 7-inning games starting at 5 o'clock, I believe. 5 p.m. will be the first pitch of the first game, and then the second game should be 8 p.m. So get your tickets online, sylvanlakegulls.com, or, find them on social media sites, and you can be at both games. You could be at one game, however you want to do it. Then they'll have a night off on the Friday before taking Energy City on again on the Saturday. Another note to take, next Wednesday, July 30th, Energy City again will be the home team, but it will be here at Gulls Field. That's a normal game, 7 o'clock start. So just to add on your radar as well. So we'll see how those games go.
And I believe there's also a makeup game with the Energy City Cactus Rats on the 29th.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. Energy City is also going to be on the 29th. That's the makeup game. So lots of baseball coming down the stretch here at Gulls Field. And this one, we got underway. We finally found a way to fit this one in against the Lethbridge Bulls. Sylvan Lake Gulls with that commanding 12-0 win. That puts them back in second place, tied with this Lethbridge Bulls team. And it was a night of everything. The offense was hot, the defense was strong, and you had a strong arm there from the newest member of the Gulls, Anthony Gilbert, making a big play from third over to first. And just, the bats were hot. Anthony Gilbert again driving it down the left side. And a couple little sallies from the newcomer there. Reese Usselman came in. He made an unreal double play himself on the mound before the rain hit and before we got into our third rain delay that then called this game. But how about this bomb by Gilbert yet again? He had a night, so did Junior Garcia with another bomb. So there it is, folks. The Gulls win 12-0 over the Lethbridge Bulls. For Jim Claggett, I'm Cale Clark and the whole broadcast crew at Green Onion with another bird's eye view on this one. Have a good night.